The first thing you notice isn't the sight of it, but the smell. It is a scent that sits heavy in the back of your throat, a cloying, floral perfume that permeates the very air you breathe. It smells of clover, of orange blossom, of a billion flowers processed and distilled into architecture. You open your eyes and there it is, New York City. But the concrete is gone, the steel is gone. The glass is gone. The world has been spun from sugar. I step out of my apartment building on the Upper West Side. The door handle is tacky to the touch, made of hardened beeswax. As I push it open, the heavy hinge groans, not a metallic screech, but a wet, gummy sound of resistance. The morning sun is just cresting over the horizon, hitting the skyline, and the entire city ignites. This is the golden hour, quite literally. The light doesn't just reflect off the buildings, it passes through them. The skyscrapers are vast, translucent monoliths of amber. They glow from within, trapping the sunlight in suspended bubbles of air deep within their walls. I begin my walk down Broadway. The sidewalk beneath my boots is crystallized. In the cool air of the early morning, the ground is hard, crunchy like rock candy. Every step I take makes a satisfying, sharp crackle, a sound like stepping on thin ice or dried leaves. It is the only time of day you can walk briskly. By noon, when the sun is high, the pavement will soften. Your heels will sink an inch into the street with every step, making the commute a slow, sticky wade through molasses. But for now, the city is brittle and beautiful. To my left, a brownstone, or rather, a goldstone, is undergoing repairs. The stoop had begun to melt during yesterday's heat wave. I watch a maintenance crew, the apiary masons, at work. They aren't using jackhammers or cement mixers. They are wielding large, heated trowels and buckets of raw, viscous comb. One man pours a thick, golden ribbon of material onto the stairs, while another smooths it out, blowing cool air onto it to set the shape. It's a silent construction. There is no banging, only the soft slop and squelch of fluid architecture. I look up. The Empire State Building looms in the distance, a towering spire of dark buckwheat honey. It is darker than the rest, a deep, rich brown against the pale blue sky. It looks less like a building and more like a hive designed by gods. You can see the internal structure, the hexagonal latticework that keeps it standing. Shadows move inside it. People working on the 81st floor are visible only as dark, blurry shapes swimming in the amber fluid. The sound of the city is different here. In the old world, New York was a cacophony of horns, sirens, and shouting. But honey is a natural dampener. It absorbs sound. The city is hushed. A taxi drives by. Its tires are made of spun sugar, its body a hard candy shell, and it makes a low, humming vibration rather than a whistle. Even the voices of the pedestrians are softer, as if the air itself is too thick to carry a shout. It is peaceful, but it is a heavy, sticky piece. I reach a crosswalk and wait for the light. The traffic pole is dripping. A slow, golden tear forms on the walk side, stretching longer and longer until gravity wins, and it snaps, falling with a heavy plop onto the shoulder of a businessman waiting next to me. He doesn't look angry. He just sighs, pulls a small scraper from his pocket, and peels the glob of honey off his suit jacket. This is life here. We are all preserved in it. We are all slowly being coated. Turning the corner, I approach the district where the schools are located. This is where the world feels most surreal. The elementary school is a castle of light, built from pale, acacia honey which is almost clear. The walls are so transparent, you can see the silhouette of the teacher writing on a blackboard made of darker propolis. The children are at recess. In the old world, a playground was metal slides and rubber mats. Here, the playground is edible, though they are told not to eat it. But they are children. I watch a young girl in a red coat check to see if the recess monitor is looking. When the coast is clear, she leans forward and quickly licks the slide. She giggles, the taste of pure sugar rushing to her brain. It's a city of temptation. Imagine living in a world where your house, your school, the very ground you walk on, tastes like the best dessert you've ever had. The struggle here isn't starvation, it's gluttony. It's the sticky hands, the sugar crashes, the constant desire to consume the world around you. I move past the school, the sound of the children's laughter muffled by the sweet walls, and head toward the commercial district. The shopping mall towers ahead. It is designed like a massive, organic honeycomb. It doesn't have sharp angles. Everything is curved, organic, flowing. The entrance is a gaping maw of dripping nectar. Inside the mall, the air conditioning is cranked high. It has to be. If the temperature rises above 70 degrees, the merchandise shelves would start to slump. The air inside is crisp, smelling of cold wax. The shops are carved directly into the walls, little hexagonal cells displaying their wares. I walk past a clothing store. The mannequins are sculpted from hard beeswax, their features smooth and featureless. The clothes they wear are treated with a special hydrophobic coating so they don't stick to the environment. I see a pair of boots specifically designed for the noon melt, with wide, flat soles to displace weight so you don't sink into the sidewalk. The acoustics in the mall are strange. It feels like being underwater. I walk to the center atrium, looking up at the skylight. It's not glass, it's a thin, stretched membrane of crystallized sugar. The sunlight filtering through it is yellow and warm, casting a sepia tone over the shoppers below. People move slower here. You can't rush. If you run, you generate heat. And if you generate heat, the floor gets tacky. So everyone glides, a slow, deliberate ballet of consumers moving through the hive. I find a bench made of solid comb and sit down. It molds slightly to my shape, the heat of my body softening the material just enough to be comfortable. I watch a janitor buffing the floor. He isn't using wax. He is using a buffer to polish the sugar crystals until they shine like diamonds. There is a darker side to the city, of course. I see it in the corners. Ants. Not the small ones from before, but large, dog-sized scouts that sometimes wander in from the outskirts. The city guards, men in suits of slick, non-stick armor, shoo them away with pheromone sprays. We live in a symbiotic relationship with nature now, but we are also intruders in a food source. I leave the mall and step back out into the street. The day has warmed up. The sun is at its zenith. The transformation has begun. The crisp, crunchy sidewalks of the morning are gone. The city is sweating. The skyscrapers look wet. The outer layers of the honey architecture are liquefying slightly, creating a shimmering, cascading effect. It looks like the buildings are crying gold. The gutters run with a slow, thick sludge of excess nectar. I have to change the way I walk. I lift my knees higher, pulling my boots out of the pavement with a sucking sound. S-H-H-H thunk, S-H-H-H thunk. The smell changes too. In the heat, the scent of honey becomes almost fermented, heavy and intoxicating. It makes you feel drowsy. The sugar coma is a real danger for tourists. They walk too long in the midday heat, breathing in the caramelized air. And they just sit down on a curb and fall asleep as the sidewalk slowly swallows their shoes. I see a bus trying to turn a corner. The tires spin for a second in the goo before finding traction on the grittier crosswalk. It's a city that fights you. It wants to hold you. It wants to keep you like a fly trapped in amber. I decide to head towards Central Park. I wonder what nature looks like when the city itself is organic. The transition is jarring. The trees aren't made of wood. They are giant structures of spun sugar floss, pink and blue and green. The leaves are wafers. The grass is strands of green licorice. It is a diabetic's hallucination. There is a lake in the center of the park, but it isn't water. It is syrup, maple syrup, dark and rich. It moves sluggishly, thick waves lapping against the candy shoreline. Ducks paddle through it, their movements laborious, trailing V-shaped wakes that stay visible for minutes because the fluid is so thick. I sit by the edge of the syrup lake. A breeze picks up, blowing sticky strands of web-like sugar from the floss trees onto my face. I wipe it away. It tastes like blueberry. The sun begins to dip. The golden hour returns, but in reverse. The city begins to cool. This is the most dangerous time. As the temperature drops, the melted surfaces begin to harden again. If you are standing still in a puddle of nectar when the sun goes down, you will be trapped there until morning. I see people hurrying now. The slow ballet of the mall is replaced by a frantic, sticky shuffle. They need to get home before the streets solidify. I make my way back to my building. The sidewalk is firming up, transitioning from swamp back to rock. My boots leave shallow impressions that will freeze there overnight, fossils of my commute. I reach my door. The beeswax handle has cooled and is hard again. I push inside, escaping the overwhelming sweetness of the atmosphere. I go to my sink and pour a glass of water. Real, clear, tasteless water. It is the most expensive commodity in the city. I drink it, washing the taste of flowers and sugar from my mouth. Outside my window, New York is glowing in the twilight. The lights inside the honey buildings turn on, scattering through the translucent walls, turning the metropolis into a giant, glowing lantern. It is terrifying. It is magnificent. It is the sweetest travel, and I am stuck in it, waiting for the sun to rise and melt the world all over again.